back to Flow Into You TV. Host and facilitator Ifa Busiayo Nafis. Here at Flow Into You TV, we are focused on attuning, harmonizing with the soul and what it is that we're here to do on this plane of existence. And that is what the intention of the Soul Flow conversation is. It is to support harmony, balance, and to provide foresight so that we have the wisdom and the discernment in moving forward throughout the days to come until our next conversation. Now, some of the conversations that have already been uploaded, please feel free to go back to them because they still have gems and nuggets within them that you can still carry in your journey even weeks from now. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with this week's Soul Flow conversation. All right, so I call in our highest guides. First and foremost, the highest one, the great creator. I call in your divine spirit, divine living spirit. Support our conversation to align and attune with balance, clarity, and discernment. I surrender myself to be a container for divine wisdom in this moment, for what will support our well-being and our highest good at this time. I push away witchcraft, wizardry, sickness, death, and any other energies masked as harmless but are harmful. I banish you from this space. Ashe. Free your mind. Serendipity. What is your soul saying? Are you holding space to translate the symbols that your soul is expressing and experiencing through you? I'm hearing take a bath. Got 2 8s out here. Okay. What is your authority? What is your work? What is it that you have been making yourself responsible for? Moving through pathways, hitting potholes is what I'm hearing. Recongesting your life with old emotions. Resurfacing old ideas, maybe, of course, taking place. Not alarming for the cycles that we are engaging with the planetary movements in the celestial sphere. But what are you doing with the data? What are you doing with the information? What are you doing with the data? What are you doing with the information? What are you doing with the data? What are you doing with the info that you're receiving? Are you still casting your pearls upon swine? Are you still going back to those places when you revisit them? Are you getting frozen in those spaces? Are you that's are you unsolving the mysteries that have been solved? That was funny. That just tickled me pink. I'm hearing take my hand. Take my hand to a distant land. And soar beyond your wildest dreams. Doing your life's work may be about alignment in this moment and not so much, or maybe effort. I said maybe effort. The maybe effort was because there may need to also be in this reassessing of what is work for you. What is work for you? What is that whole framework of what work is for you? What are you designing around the symbols, the language of the word work? Call things by their first name. Call it what it is. Is your ambition draining you because you are scrapbooking your purpose? And in the we think about scrapbooks, it's, you know, there's pieces that are being put together. Pieces of scraps that are being put together. Is that the way your soul's portfolio is designed? So going back to what is your soul saying to you? Are you able to be, are you providing availability? Are you emotionally unavailable? Are you hearing the sounds? Are you taking in the scents? Are you paying attention to your surroundings? Are you allowing those that need to support you in this season to support you? Are those people that supporting you, are they supporting your soul's portfolio? Are they supporting the portfolio of what they believe that you are, but in reality are not? Are they enabling you to no longer rely on your soul, but to rely on them to exercise what they got going on? Where is your power being distributed? Where is your power being distributed? Where is your power being distributed? Where is your energy leaking? If you're engaging in old patterns, your energy is leaking somewhere. You may even be seeing evidence in your house or where you live of leaks. It may be because you are not taking you've been just going through the motions, moving through things, existing, and then there has to be something for your soul to find a way to, like a pathway of communication. If the pathway of communication with you directly is not being either translated well, or is being congested, or just not getting through. Y'all aren't speaking the same language. So now you have manifestations in your home. That is still a means of communication if you pay attention. And then, of course, the level of intensity will increase if that isn't paid attention to, if that isn't acknowledged. So pay attention if you have leakages going on around you in your house, or someone's called you because they're like, "Oh, I got a leak. Can you come and help me and, get this together?" Take inventory of that. Don't just take it for face value. Even ask your soul, is this a me is are you communicating with me right now through this incident, through this experience? And if so, I would prefer the level of intensity not increase. How would you like me to create space so that I can be able to understand what you're trying to convey to me, whether it's I'm not where I'm supposed to be, I'm not in alignment, I'm not in attunement with my blessings, I'm actually making choices that are moving against my favor, repelling favor, I'm asking for peace, but I'm engaging with choices that draw me to chaos. Are you increasing your load? Are you increasing your own labor? And then using the authority of your word to reinforce poor choices. Scattering and scrapbooking. The that the scattering and the scrapbooking keeps coming up. So you may have to call back components of who you are, because you know and send back scraps of others that you've made a part of you, right? And have made your identity. And in those parts being you, like you're taking on other people's pieces of other people's identity, which also can interfere with the manifestation of your soul's expression, because someone else's identity, that's connected to their soul. So then, if that could very well distort how you hear yours, because the frequency of someone else may not be your frequency, whether it be because that frequency is more evolved, or that frequency is not as evolved, right? Because it's unique. Your soul, you and your soul have a relationship. So, depending on where you are in your own development, in your own path, the experiences that you have had, they're unique to you. But because they're unique to you, they're supportive of you and your soul's expression, not someone else's. So, also pay attention to that. Sometimes we can't hear ourselves because we have other that's where you got the noise. It could be you've taken on the fragments of someone else, and their voice is attached to that. Their voice, their entities, their ancestors, all of that is on that. You feel me? That is all in their a part of their energy signature, which may not support your ability to hear yours. It's kind of when you're in a noisy place and you hear everybody else's voices and you like, I can't hear myself think. Along that along those lines. Ashe. And then if you have, other people are taking on you, it could be, you know, taking on they're taking a piece of your power, taking a piece of your energy. So be very mindful within the next few days of what are you energetically investing in. And when certain thoughts come through, like, really just be present with yourself. Be present with yourself. Sometimes we move into these moments where we spiral out because we are entertaining thought forms, ideas that are not ours. And instead of us just sending them back, like, this piece of mail is not mine. I'm not going to sit here and hold it and harbor it and cherish it and process it, try to, I'm not going to do any of that, because on the front of the address, the address is not mine. The name, it's not addressed to me. I may be in, it's come into my cipher, it's come into my existence, but that doesn't mean that I need to hold on to it. It does not mean that I need to attach to it. And the gravity of, if I do that, there are things that are, on the surface it seems simple, but there are complexities that come with me taking on someone else's something that doesn't belong to me. Now, if, right. So be mindful of your dreams. Make sure that you're not making agreements in your dreams that you're either, you're not fully aware of, you're not fully consenting to, but because you're, I'm here, tighten up in your dream space. Tighten it up. Tighten up. Because if certain things that, in this reality where it's a symbol of making an agreement with someone, of engaging with someone energetically, maybe happening in our astral space, and then when we wake up, we've made these agreements, and now things start moving in rhythm with those agreements in ways that we're unconscious to. But just because we're unconscious to it doesn't mean that it's not going to show up consciously. It will still show up consciously, but because we're not really fully aware of the consciousness of that unconscious agreement, we may not be able to detect it. So, because some of us are revisiting, especially with Mercury being Mercury, the sun. Look in your living sky if you follow the living sky. Also, if you follow sidereal astrology, or you are following, if you are in alignment with the sidereal system or true sky, which, when I say true sky, real sky, it means that you're actually actively with your physical eye, either with using a tool, whether it is an actual telescope, or you're using a tool with the phone, such as Sky Guide, one of the tools that I use, and you're actually looking at the physical placements of the planets. You will see that the sun is currently traveling through the constellation of Cancer. You will also see that it is traveling, Mercury is in retrograde in Cancer. You will see this with your physical eye. I'm not making it up, and I'm not, yeah. I said all that to say, because if you are attuned energetically, you're in harmony with the heavens, you're in harmony, your systems are attuned to what the heaven, as above so below, as on heaven here on earth. You are revisiting contracts right now, agreements. And these are not like, these are emotional agreements. What have I agreed to emotionally? When this thought comes up and there's this energy that comes to fuel this thought, have I made an agreement with this thought form emotion to support this thought form presently, or is this something from the past? If from the past, was I there for it? If not, do I still want to support it? Do I still want to agree with it? Do I still want to invest my energy in it? Your emotions being the fuel that is propelling the idea, that is feeding the idea, that is feeding the thought. And if so, what is the cost of me? What is that cost? It's just like fuel. Like if I want unleaded, if I want premium, if I want top grade, am I giving top grade gas to an outdated vehicle, to outdated ideas that really they on their deathbed, to be real? They need to be. They don't need to be resuscitated, but we ignore the DNR and we keep resuscitating them. Are we keeping alive ideas, fueling ideas that really they're actually robbing us of our favor? They're robbing us of our favor. Do not cast your pearl upon swine in this moment. Really taking the inventory of what you're doing. Take, like, are you? Is it you? And is it because, like, sometimes we're moving through thought forms that are not ours, and they're actually creating certain, they're disconnecting our reality because we're associating it with us, and they're not even associated with who we are. They shouldn't even, your container can't even hold it. You're trying to put water, a 32-ounce bottle of water, in an 8-ounce cup, and then get frustrated because all the water won't go into the cup, or that is spilling over. What is the cost? Ashe. What is harvesting your energy? So, developing a process of, or a method of, what exactly is specific to my energetic signature. Let me get in harmony with my soul's purpose. And I encourage you, like, I'm not really here to tell you that one system is better than the other. What I am going to encourage you, though, is the heavens are above. Look up. If you want to align with your stardust, your soul's choice, I will say, from my personal years of experimentation and recent discoveries, that engaging, looking into what your sidereal charts, if you want to cast a chart, I would encourage you to cast a sidereal chart with sidereal time to get as close as you can. Get as close as you can to uncovering your soul's purpose. Okay? To really, like, break some things down. You can be, if you are attached to your tropical, rock out. I'm not saying, but I'm saying if you are really invested in attuning yourself with what you have already chosen prior to your physical manifestation here, that system will get you closer to that. Not just who you, not just what you materializing here in the Western world. Okay. Um, and if you need support with that, please feel free to reach out to me. I will definitely support you in that endeavor, because when we are not in alignment with our soul's authority, it is bound that we are moving, that we don't know where our energy may be and be harvested. Our resources may be harvested. What we think are our resources may be fueling, feeding something that is not, like, it's just not even connect. It's not like you like, wait, but this is not who I am. Some people, that those moments where you like, man, I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, but why do I feel this way? So pay attention to the details. Find a system, find something to support you in getting clear in your resource, where, how what is your soul's resource allocation for you to exist here? How do you sustain it and maintain it? Where are the places you don't need to be? Where are the places that you should be? What is it that is what are the problems that you are uniquely designed to solve, instead of scattering your power solving problems, and or being distracted by problems that are not in alignment for you to solve. And other people, if you're solving other people's problems, like, that's one less problem for them to solve. Are they really going to stop you? Now, if that person has integrity, they will. If that person is aware, they will. Because someone can have integrity and just not be attuned, and then, they're not doing it out of harm, but they don't know because they don't have that level of awareness. You feel me? So there's that, because everyone is moving through their development at different paces and different, and they're in different stages to where they can recognize that. And then those that are in tune with the talents, and like they're in tune and they're attuned and this is their work, they will know, like, oh no, you may be here for a certain period of time, but this is not where you're supposed to be, for real, for real. So, I'm not going to try to nurture you to be something that you're not, unless they do that because they want you there, they're harvesting your energy, whatever. But you will be, who would want years to pass and you're not progressing or growing in some way? Right? So be aware of that, be mindful of that. Use that as a method, as a part of your method, as a part of your strategy, as a part of your process, and, you know, work it out. That is what is coming through for this week's Soul Flow conversation. There is work to be done. All of us are here to contribute to the condition of humanity restoring harmony and balance in this plane of existence. But if we are not where we're supposed to be, I mentioned this in another reading. This came out in another conversation. The authority conversation. So go back and watch that soul flow conversation. That was from 2 weeks ago. And that's still, it's still showing up here again. So authority, authority, authority. One of my clients who had a conversation with me recently in their one-on-one soul flow, there was this, I needed, some of us, we just we get caught up in the distractions, and when I say distractions, they distractions in the context of your energy is not being allocated, distributed in a way that is maximizing your life experience, and you can feel it and you can see it. And then you have to take on other people's energy to balance your own. But what you're really being called to do is to fully tap in and align with your authority. Once you tap in with your authority, you access those resources. You access those resources that were already, they're already ready to be given to you. But if you're not in position to receive them, versus with either your thoughts or just your physical location, or you're around people are that maybe supporting you, repelling receiving, then you will always feel power. You will experience powerlessness and helplessness and hopelessness. The king of England, or the king of a territory, can't expect going into a territory that they don't have authorization to rule over, and believe that they're going to be able to govern the people of that territory that's not theirs. They may have the respect in that territory, but as far as, I'm gonna, let me take it upon myself to use my authority that I have over the territory that I have been designed to have dominion over, and replicate that here. Whole other territory, whole other environment, whole other set of everything. To have that expectation that you will be able, for that authority figure to go there and to move that way, is already creating opposition. That thought, that idea has already manifested a sequence of events that's going to create resistance and opposition. Where that don't even need to be, unless you're just interested in that. Then of course, then the authority figure would be like, yeah, I need a little opposition. I need a little bit of resistance. But if that's not the case, then go back to where you have already been designated to have dominion over, and flow there. Where people already have an expectation. Oh yeah, you supposed to be here. You are the one that's going to support us to solve these problems. You have the skill set, you have the mindset, you have the energy signature, you have the patience, you're already designed for this job. You were not designed for that territory over there, and that's okay. That doesn't diminish your power, unless you are trying to prove that I can rule over here and rule over there. Like, but why? Right? So these questions, like, but why? Why do you feel that way? Why do you feel that way? Why do you even want to do that? Why are you trying to be there where your power is weaker or it's going to get weaker? ¿Por qué? Right? So this is, ask yourself these questions. You can invest your energy in complaining all day, but then, assess, why do you feel the need to complain? Really assess. Really break it down. Get to the idea. Get to the building block, which is the idea. And that'll support you in working in tandem with your favor, with your authority. The more of us, I feel that in me reimagining the world to be in the place that our creator has already envisioned, already has a vision of, and is in motion, is us being in alignment with what we've been designed to do and owning it. That's the end of our soul flow conversation for this week. Utilize these retrograde cycles to get clear, gain clarity. Stand 10 toes down. Okay. I'm shuffling these cards. I know I'd said that this is the end of the conversation, but I think that there is one more component to this conversation to wrap it up. So I'm gonna flow with it. What's our final message? You need to grieve who you were. You go through this process and you realize, man, like, this has uncovered me being somebody that I really, whoa, wait, who am I becoming? Some of us here in the collective are on the threshold. So, like, you're not who you were, but you are becoming. Take that time to grieve. Don't allow things to get in the way of that process of grief. But please don't try to prolong the inevitable, right? It just came through. Yeah. Because we need who you chose to be in heaven to go ahead and materialize here on earth. We need it. Call it in. You don't call it in. Say, hey, utilizing your prayer practice to strategically form an alliance with your higher self. If you need support in this way, if you felt led to, or you're feeling led through this conversation, it resonates with you and you need some support in this process, I invite you to reach out to me. Okay. The link is in the description box. If you would like to have a one-on-one conversation with me, please do. And I would be happy to support you. Until next week. May your family be blessed. May you be anchored in your strength. And when fear shows and appears, may you continue to show up and choose courage. Ashe.